Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a concept that really challenges how we usually think about wealth. We're not just looking at, a typical financial guide.
No, not at all.
We're diving into what's presented as an entire ecosystem of knowledge. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right.
Our deep dive today is into Mental Architecture for Financial Domination by Gian Pablo Piazza.
Quite a title.
Right. The title alone tells you this isn't your average personal finance book. It positions you, the listener, not as a simple investor, but as, quote, the architect of a system.
A fundamental shift.
Exactly. And the goal, as the author puts it, is pretty ambitious. Total financial domination.
Wow.
And every single piece of this architecture, from the basics right up to the advanced tools, it's all designed for specific functions. They all work together.
Interconnected.
Totally. We're going to explore 7 of these foundational functions today. Creating capital, acquiring assets, generating flow, legal shielding, scaling without friction, what the book calls controlling from the shadows, and then elevating everything through AI.
What's fascinating here is how this source lays out a truly multi-layered approach. It's interconnected.
Yeah.
Think of it less like a checklist, step 1, step 2.
Not linear.
Exactly. It's more like a dynamic self-reinforcing system. Each element builds upon the last one.
Okay.
It's not just a bunch of separate tactics thrown together. It's about a highly integrated financial strategy. It really emphasizes how every single component is designed to work together.
To create a machine.
A coherent, self-sustaining machine. That's a good way to put it.
Okay, that's a powerful way to frame it. But let's dive in. The architecture talks about financial fuel, or level 1, credit and capital.
Starting point.
Yeah, but some of these tactics, like aggressive disputes or freezing secondary bureaus, they sound pretty advanced, maybe even aggressive.
They can be.
So what does the book suggest about, the risks or what you need to know before trying these?
That's a crucial question. And yeah, the architecture acknowledges these aren't basic moves.
Yeah.
It definitely emphasizes strategic credit repair.
Strategic.
Using tactics like freezing those secondary bureaus, basically stopping them reporting to certain agencies. And yeah, aggressive disputes under FDCPA, that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
To challenge inaccuracies, right?
Precisely, to challenge inaccuracies. It also discusses using well-calibrated trade lines.
Which are?
Basically, positive payment histories added to your report to boost scores. But it stresses managing risk through really diligent record keeping and, importantly, understanding the legal frameworks involved.
Got it. So know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay. And from there, it moves straight into leveraging both personal and business funds.
Right. Separating them, but using both.
So smart use of things like 0% APR cards, intelligent personal loans.
Standard enough, yeah.
But then for business, it outlines setting up business credit. Forming an LLC, getting an EIN.
The employer identification number.
Right, a DNS number from Dun & Bradstreet, building a solid Paydex score.
That business credit score.
Yeah, and it even suggests using Net 30 vendors and ShelfCore.
Right, ShelfCore. Those are essentially pre-registered companies with an existing history. Helps build credibility faster sometimes.
Okay. So it's all about setting up a totally separate financial identity for your business ventures.
Precisely. And it doesn't just stop with the usual banks.
No.
This system really pushes for accessing alternative capital. It points to sources like CDFIs.
Community Development Financial Institutions.
Exactly. Microbanks, private money lenders, and DSCR loans.
DSCR, remind me.
Those are based on the property's debt service coverage ratio, so its ability to pay its own debts, rather than your personal income.
Okay. Makes sense for property investors.
For sure. It even discusses capital stacking. It's all designed to get you the funds you need without necessarily hitting your personal credit all the time.
Right. Fueling growth without relying just on the big banks.
That's the core idea.
Oh, okay. So once you have that financial fuel, the system directs you to level 2, the acquisition machine.
Now we're buying stuff.
Exactly. The focus shifts entirely to strategically acquiring assets, often in, let's say, unconventional ways.
Like how?
Well, a key strategy mentioned is tax deeds and scavenger lists. It talks about using a deal reaper method to classify opportunities, A, B, or C.
Deal reaper. Okay.
Yeah. It involves scanning OTC over-the-counter listings, struck-off lists, scavenger lists, looking for deals you can quickly analyze.
For a quick flip or something else.
Either immediate resale or maybe a more creative exit strategy. It's really about finding those hidden gems where others might not be looking.
Makes sense. Finding value in overlooked places. And it pushes beyond just tax deeds, right? It champions creative financing.
It does. What does that entail here?
Think subject to deals.
For you to take over the existing mortgage payments.
Exactly. Lease options, seller financing, wrap mortgages.
So non-bank financing, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the system suggests combining these maybe with strategies like Section 8 housing or even quick flips to maximize the returns.
Interesting.
What's compelling here is how it encourages thinking completely outside the traditional mortgage box.
Yeah.
Focusing on how to structure deals to make them work, make them profitable, even if you don't have perfect credit yourself.
Okay. And those acquisitions, they then feed right into level 3. Cash engines.
Making the assets work for you.
Exactly. Generating consistent cash flow. The Section 8 strategy is highlighted here.
Why Section 8 specifically?
For its potential to secure guaranteed monthly income. The idea is focusing on properties in areas with high fair market rent and maintaining really strong relationships with the local housing authorities.
Which could mean less vacancy, less risk.
Supposedly, yeah. It's presented as a very specific, deliberate approach to getting rental income flowing.
Okay. And then there's the flip side, literally, express flips.
Right. What's express about them?
This isn't your typical HGTV long renovation project. It's about flipping properties as is.
Ah, minimal work.
Minimal work, aiming for maybe a 40–60% more in, and reselling really quickly, like 30–60-day cycles to cash buyers or other investors.
So the emphasis is on speed and liquidity.
Exactly. Rapid turnover, minimizing those holding costs.
Okay. And then there's another angle mentioned, note creation. That sounds different.
It is. It's an alternative to being a direct landlord.
How does it work?
Basically, you provide seller financing to buyers who might have less than perfect credit.
Okay, so you act like the bank.
Right. Then you create a formal note, a mortgage note, and you can actually sell that note to other investors called note buyers.
Ah, so you get income without managing the property itself.
Exactly. Passive income potential. It shifts your role from landlord to lender, generating income streams without the typical operational headaches.
Interesting. Okay, so once you're generating that cash flow, the system moves to level 4, the capital magnet, attracting other people's money.
Scaling up.
Right. A big part of this is something called deal packaging.
Sounds professional.
It is. It means putting together clear, compelling proposals for, say, hard money loans, those DSCR loans we mentioned, or private investors.
What goes into a package like that?
Detailed documentation, think comps, photos, analysis, timelines, all presented professionally. Something that inspires confidence and makes your deal easy for them to understand and say yes to.
Makes sense. You need to look like you know what you're doing if you want their money.
Absolutely. And naturally, once your deals are packaged,
you got to find the money.
Exactly. You need to raise private money. This involves strategic networking with potential investors.
Building relationship.
Yeah, presenting a professional track record and having a structured pitch ready to go, designed to close deals quickly.
Making your opportunities seem irresistible.
That's the idea. Cultivating those relationships with people who have the capital you need to scale things up.
Okay, this brings us to a really crucial and pretty sophisticated part. Level 5. Total shielding asset protection and sovereignty.
Yeah, this is where it feels like it gets really advanced. Starts talking about offshore structures.
It does. We're talking things like irrevocable trusts, maybe in Nevis,
Or
holding companies, perhaps the Bahamas,
No.
using LLCs in protective states like Delaware or Wyoming. It even mentions things like equity stripping and UCC1 filings,
Uttar.
Uniform Commercial Code filings, basically used to publicly record a creditor's interest in property, creating liens.
Okay. So the goal is what? To make yourself the lender to your own empire.
That seems to be the concept. Adding layers of protection and control, separating you from the assets legally.
This whole concept of total shielding and personal sovereignty, it sounds incredibly ambitious. Almost like something out of a spy novel.
It definitely pushes boundaries.
It promises freedom, sure, but what are the practicalities, the maybe less glamorous side, the complexities or ongoing responsibilities of managing this kind of global, untethered setup?
That's an excellent point. The architecture frames it as achieving this life free from excessive control, right? But implicitly, you can see it requires a deep understanding of international law, international finance.
Oh, absolutely.
Regular compliance in multiple jurisdictions, a network of trusted advisors, lawyers, accountants across different countries.
It's not a set it and forget it thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's about diversifying your global footprint.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a second passport, Caribbean, Europe by descent, perhaps. Establishing tax residency somewhere favorable, like Dubai as mentioned. Setting up those offshore companies, international banking.
Wow.
The goal presented is indeed this kind of nomadic, untethered life. But achieving it and maintaining it, that requires constant proactive management. It's a significant undertaking.
Okay. So let's say you've built the engine, you've shielded it. Now you need to scale. Level 6, scaling systems and automation.
Right. Making it bigger without breaking it or yourself.
Exactly. And this is where technology really seems to kick in. Automating that deal reaper method we talked about earlier. Think virtual assistants doing the research. AI classifying properties. Setting up dashboards with alerts for those prime A properties.
So the system finds deals for you.
Potentially. All supported by clear SOPs, standard operating procedures, checklists, KPIs, key performance indicators, and scalable training for anyone involved.
Building a machine that can run itself or mostly run itself.
That's the goal. And building on that automation, a marketing machine is described as essential.
To keep feeding the beast.
Pretty much. Leveraging platforms like Facebook ads for rentals, for sales, maybe even for selling courses about your methods. Building lead funnels for buyers, for investors, and establishing your own personal brand as an educational authority in the space.
So your content itself becomes a digital asset.
Exactly. Attracting opportunities, attracting capital, just by putting your knowledge out there.
Okay. Now, beyond these structured levels, the architecture introduces something called Level X, hidden subconscious knowledge. That sounds different.
It does. More intangible. It seems to focus on intuitive mastery, not just explicit tactics.
Like what? Gut feeling.
Sort of. It talks about invisible reading of the game, intuitive negotiation tactics, recognizing social dynamics in deals, a kind of natural shadow leadership. It's about anticipating moves based on unspoken experience and instinct, like a sixth sense for the market almost.
Interesting. Harder to quantify, harder to teach, presumably.
Very much so. And building on that, it culminates in Level AI, expanded digital mind.
The cutting edge.
Definitely. This is about fully leveraging tools like ChatGPT 4o, Claude, Venice AI for advanced reasoning, content creation.
The stuff we hear about constantly now.
Right. But integrated into this financial system. Automation through things like AutoGPT.
An autonomous AI agent, yeah.
And platforms like Zapier, Notion AI. It even discusses creating realistic digital clones.
Digital clones. Seriously?
Yeah, using tools like Synthesia, 11 Labs, and building influencer AI with Character.ai or Replica.
Wow, okay, that's next level.
It is, and it doesn't stop there. For learning, intelligence gathering, it mentions Firefly's Browse AI.
Tools that monitor and summarize information.
Seems like it. For scaling operations, ads, it mentions Okoya, Ad Creative. Even design and branding get an AI boost mid-journey, DALAE2 for generative visuals, and system visualization with Miro AI. It really tries to cover the entire spectrum of digital tools to support this whole architecture.
So, okay, we've gone through all these levels, all these tools. This brings us back to the core premise you mentioned at the start. How does it all connect?
Right. How does the architecture itself say it connects?
Well, it lays it out pretty clearly. Credit and capital level 1, that's the gasoline, the fuel for the whole system.
Okay.
You use that fuel to acquire cheap assets level 2, like those tax deeds or deals made with creative financing.
Got it. Fuel buys assets.
Then, those assets are converted into cash flow level 3, using strategies like Section 8 or those express flips.
Assets make money.
Right. And the money you generate, the cash flow, is then shielded using those offshore structures, trusts level 5.
Protect the profits.
Exactly. Then you scale all of this. Level 6, using automation and artificial intelligence.
Use tech to grow.
Right. This positions you, according to the source, as a sovereign brand with multiple income sources.
Sovereign brand. Interesting term.
And crucially, the final piece is that you maintain control without needing to be physically present.
Ow.
Through the AI, potentially those digital clones, and all these integrated systems working together.
Wow. Okay, so what does this all mean? What does it mean for you, the listener? We've just walked through a truly vast, deeply interconnected system. It goes from, strategically building credit all the way up to acquiring assets in clever ways, leveraging advanced AI, and aiming for total legal shielding.
It's comprehensive, to say the least.
It really does echo that core philosophy mentioned. Everything is connected, everything is designed, everything has a function. within this framework.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, the really profound paradigm shift here, I think, is moving from just being an investor.
Which is how most people think of it.
Right. To becoming the architect of a system. This architecture isn't just about making money. It's presented as designing a self-sustaining, maybe even self-amplifying entity.
A financial ecosystem, like you said at the start.
Exactly. And it makes you consider, what does it truly mean to control without being present? Using these advanced systems, using AI, how does that fundamentally redefine personal freedom and wealth creation, at least within this specific envisioned architecture?
That's a heavy question.
It is. And it raises an important thought for you, the listener, to ponder. What is the power, and maybe more importantly, what is the responsibility that comes with designing and potentially maintaining such a comprehensive, autonomous financial ecosystem?